last time this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL Pro League for North America. We're going into our final map of the evening. Once again, it'll be between CLG Gaming and compLexity. After compLexity had a bit of an upsetting ending to that first map, giving it over to CLG, we're going to see how things go on the second map. It's going to be Train. So as we're concluding with a knife right now, and it looks like CLG are going to get control of it. Moses, let's talk a little bit about things before they get readied up.
Well, the scary part for compLexity is that JDM started a little bit slow on Dust 2, and we've talked about in the past, I'm sure you guys did while I was away, that JDM has not been up to his usual self the past month or so. But he came alive on Dust 2 with that AWP, and he carried them through stretches and really brought them into overtime and helped them secure that win. He was probably the most impactful player on CLG to get that win for him. So here on Train, another map where the AWP can just go beast mode and carry you to a victory. That's got to be a little bit worrying, and that's going to be up to Whitmer to really challenge him with his own op on the T side.
So to start it off, of course, compLexity back on that T side and pushing themselves forward now. The bomb is going to be just outside of Ivy, as it holds itself back there for a few extra moments. They've got the decoy sitting outside of it, but it's not going to pressure itself in just as of yet. They're actually going to start a very forward inner hit here, and it's traded out. CLG gets a 2-for-1, but still they've rotated all their players. The problem, though, is that the actual take to the outer yard is so slow on the follow-up that CLG have already got the read on it, and they've got two players in Z right now, so they're going to be able to see this bomb coming to the site a mile away. Shinobi should still be able to get the plant, but they should have no trouble at all with the retake. Assumably, of course, Whitmer does just go ham there on the cross, picks up the first kill, but then Cutler rolls in from the alternate tunnel, takes down Whitmer. Shinobi's trying to push back in there. It brings it into a 1v2, but he's got to be cautious because they've got another player coming out from the Ivy tunnel now, smoking things off. Not exactly sure if that's going to help him or not, but JDM does try to jump up a little bit here, as we now see Cutler trying to assist with this one as well. They're both lined up. And Shinobi just trying to waste as much time as possible, but he does hear that defuse. It's only a fake. Nonetheless, though, Shinobi moves in, but it's not that well. He's down to 6 HP, and Cutler is going to execute him there. Stopping the defuse for a moment. It's going to be a little bit close, but I think he's got plenty of time to defuse that bomb. Yeah, there we go. He should be good.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That second prong, that fake towards the inner bomb site, works out so well, especially because they deal massive damage early on to the two defenders in there. So they immediately have to call for support, and everyone vacates the A bomb site, but the remaining two members from compLexity, it's like there's like a 4-second delay. They missed their window. So just a little bit off on their timing. But look at this, a little bit of a creative buy into the second round. There's 4 Tech 9s. Shinobi's missing armor, but he has dropped an AK-47 over to Sanks. So Sanks, the real, the top performer of last time, he's going to rush right out mid, finds Cutler in the open, but can't win that battle. And now CLG, every advantage in the world with that AK-47 down. It's not able to get salvaged. Shady up with a scout going to prevent the plant. And CLG holding on, at least for the moment.
Shinobi trying to forge his way forward there to force the plant, but unfortunately, counter pressure coming in there is a bit too strong without a smoke to his system. Not going to be plausible. Def, though, jumps up. Grabs the kill on a JDM, and all of a sudden the T's have the man advantage now, but Cutler has got a good angle, picks up 1 kill, brought down to 15 HP, so he's going to hold back a little bit, but he does know Def is just on the other side of that. He's going to stick to the bomb train right next to this bomb and support it. And to help out with Cutler pushing back in here, Tarek is going to be moving in. It's a good shot coming in there. Whitmer just on the other side of this one. A lot of the attention is drawn to him, so Def is able to sneak outside of that smoke. He picks up another kill on a Tarek. Everything is on to Cutler now, but Whitmer's going to shut him down. And compLexity, the plan's going to work out. It started off awfully on the initial hit, but they weren't able to bring it back into their control. Now they round things back into their control almost immediately, up to a 1-to-1.
Yeah, it's Roka. CLG lost awareness of hell, and he's able to swing wide and get a couple kills on a small flank. So just one minor mistake from CLG, not monitoring those trade lanes adequately, and Roka just finds a couple easy kills and brings compLexity right back into it. So the response is huge. CLG does invest a little bit into this round. Cutler with the scout, Fugly and Tarek with the armor and upgraded pistols, but again, another win for compLexity, largely based off Tech 9s.
So compLexity lining up their hit just outside of Ivy now. They've got presence here, so it's going to be the default play. Already getting themselves into a little bit of a fight. Cutler down at 64 HP now, but no damage returning onto the T side. They do get a read onto the fact that there is pressure coming in here, but they can't really react to that as of yet. Now they should be able to start some movement away from that B bomb that they already have. Actually, they're just leaving Tarek in here to defend in the event. They rotate the bomb up through the halls, push it over to this inside bomb site, and hiding out now just underneath of the ladder room is going to be JDM, hoping to catch some of these players jumping down, if it even ends up going through there now, because they have moved the bomb up on top. It wouldn't be too surprising to see them changing the hit.
Yeah, one reason why they're leaving Tarek inside as well is because they had JDM listening for any kind of rotation back towards the inner bomb site. Now they walk the whole way. It's all on Tarek. CZ close up. Gets the first kill. Can't get the second. Sanks trades him out. JDM and Cutler still alive. Cutler coming in with a scout, trying to do a little bit more damage, but he's smoked out. And he has no options to shoot at. JDM, meanwhile, in Whitehall's. Where are you really going to go from here? Roka's back in T-choke, but there's not a whole lot Cutler and JDM can do from here. JDM might just want to save this AK-47. He has one. There's no reason to go for this 4 HP. Cutler finds that kill onto Roka. They can both escape with AK-47s. This is actually huge.
So now with that falling away, the guys on CLG are just going to be opting to save now. JDM pulling completely outside. And they're going to hang out now over here towards the Ivy approach. compLexity just exiting the bomb site as they were being a little bit cautious just to make sure there was no retake attempt with them losing one of their teammates. But they will be handing over the round to the side of compLexity. They get the economical advantage to start things off with those 2 rifles. compLexity not going to be dead in the water. Just as of yet, of course, as they have to start saving up here. The other 3 players won't really be able to justify a force-up. Actually...
Well, I mean, they could if they wanted to.
Yeah, I just noticed they dropped the rifle over to Tarek. But
yeah, I don't think they're going to. They're just going to see what these AK-47s could find. But yeah, they could have had 3 M4s into this, but I think they just want to go into their first full actual buy with a better economy. Molotov comes out. compLexity just runs right through it. Some early damage is dealt, but there's Hayes. Fugly does respond. Both AKs still up, alive and well. The Tarek just burns alive. Cutler's still alive. He's got to do the damage now, trying to find some shots. That's a nice one on the Shinobi from long range. And Fugly's even got Sanks low. This is looking like a pretty decent situation for CLG to be in, and Fugly's going to get aggressive down this lane. All he needs to do is land 1 bullet. Cutler, meanwhile, great movement, finds Roka, and there's Fugly for the cleanup. So off the back of just 2 AK-47s, CLG responds wonderfully.
Nicely done, and now they tie it right back up. compLexity, though, not going to waste any time for themselves, forcing immediately up to another buy. 2 Deagles coming into the picture here on both Roka and Whitmer. 3 rifles, 2 of them being AKs, but basically 0 utility investment on 4 to 5 of these players. Only going to see a flashbang on both Whitmer and Def. Roka's the only player that's able to get a full utility stack, and no mollies to work with, so... As these guys press forward, this needs to be a team play, moving in directly towards one of these bomb sites, and that's looking like what it's going to be, at least initially. 4 players pushing through the locker rooms, only keeping 1 just outside of Ivy, so they're going to move themselves pretty quickly into the back of the B bomb site, but will be met there with some resistance. Not sure how much Tarek spotted beyond seeing Shinobi take him down, but it is enough to pull a rotation into this site, and there's JDM up close with the op, finding a first one. Whitmer jumping over it, and the second shot is not enough to completely kill him, so Whitmer's down at 9 HP. Roka trying to round this back into his team's favor from up top, but he's going to get lit up down to 47 HP as well. He's looking for the flank, spots Hayes on the ladder, jumps off, gets the connection just as he's leaping off it, and now it's only Fugly left alive in 1v2, but he's got a really big shot at pulling this off.
This has been so hectic. Molotov's going to come out. Whitmer's got to move. That's going to start burning, and he does get out of there just in time. They're both on the left side, and Fugly, they're going to line up for him. He should know this. Oh, he's not prepared for it. He didn't realize the other one was Roka, and Roka with the 1 dig is going to end it. Fugly cannot convert. 3rd round for compLexity. These teams just trading back and forth these rounds early on.
Big mistake there coming out to switch over the weapon as he picked up that first kill there, so not going to see the clutch coming out from CLG. But nonetheless, they've got enough to force up, it would seem. It's going to be a very rough one, though. As you take a look, it's got an op in play. It's got a single rifle in play on Fugly, but for the rest, 5.7, P250, and Deagle, just as bad as we were looking at compLexity in that last round. And even compLexity still sitting on some shaky ground here now as they bring in another Galil, a Tech 9 on Shinobi. CLG know that they can just re-break the T economy if they upset on this round, so they're forcing up in an attempt to do so.
Yeah, but compLexity loves this. Especially on the T half, you are up to 3 rounds. You're sitting okay. The economy's a tough situation for CLG, even if they bought. And on top of that, much easier to manage the economy on the T side. So they're very fine with just trading these rounds and having these weird situations. But there's an opening pick from JDM. Probably not expecting the AWP. That catches him off guard. And even Fugly chiming in with 1 more. So this is looking very good for CLG. Smoke comes out. JDM doesn't take the shot. Seems like he was trying to time it. Def's out in the smoke. And there's Hayes with a kill with a 5.7.
So he's finding that one, not necessarily looking out for more, though, as he completely ignores, I believe it's Whitmer, to put himself on the train, firing some shots out back over onto Hayes, but it's actually not enough to kill him. Now Tarek finding another pickup, he's eliminated Shinobi, so all you've got left is Whitmer, testing the waters against JDM. That's not smart. He's going to be able to finish him off nice and easily, and CLG do upset once again against compLexity, putting their economy back into a controllable situation.
What is happening right now? I don't understand, but this should be a save from compLexity. They don't have money to even force up any rifles whatsoever. They don't get to plant that round. They don't even deal any damage. So there's really I mean, the economy's still weak for CLG, but without that plant, without getting a couple kills, it's just too rough of a spot. So they are going to save moving forward.
And compLexity very quickly push their players through the locker rooms now, just on top of ladder, moving them down to the back of the B bomb site. But Tarek playing up close, throwing that nade in, getting a little bit of damage on both Shinobi and Whitmer. But as they roll down, there you go, JDM gets an easy first kill, and Roka almost jumps into his own fate. They're going a little bit too far down the ramp, but JDM not wanting to test the fates on that just as of yet, and that holds the rest of compLexity back now, as most of their players are going to be regrouping on top of ladder room.
Yeah, Roka's going to stick around White Halls, wait for the smoke to clear, see if he can get a pick with his Deagle. We know the damage he can do. Flashbang's going to stall him out a little bit longer, but maybe in just one kill might force some rotations, but all the rest of compLexity is so spread out. And there it is. Tarek's going to find Roka. No damage dealt. All that's left is for Sanks, Shinobi, and Def to find some way to die, essentially. As there's not a lot of options available to him. No utility on their side whatsoever.
Cutler hanging back. Spots the play from Def, pushing himself outside of the ladder room there. Haven't managed to spot, I should say, the play from Sanks as of yet, as he's been jumping around. But unfortunately, with Sanks kind of playing around with things, he's given JDM and Fugly and the remaining members of CLG all the time that's needed to counter out this push. So compLexity are not really going to get that far at all this time around. CLG finally seemingly wrangling control of the situation here as they shut out compLexity with their save finally being forced upon them. And they're actually going to do 2 in a row here, just buying up Deagles this time.
Yeah, a couple rounds being locked out. That's going to allow, I look at the money that's going to start building up on the CLG side. JDM's at 5,000, Hayes at 6,000, you know, Fugly at 4,000. So sitting pretty nice as they're racking up some of these wings. Fugly's going to have a lot of pressure put on him. 3 members in alley for compLexity. That smoke might stall him out, but Cutler gets the opening kill. And eventually, these 3 members are just going to have to be forced through the smoke. Nades comes out, does decent damage onto Roka. But they're just going to wait up here because the 4th member is going to come group up with them. That's going to be Def, so they're going to have a 4-man push down Ivy to end this round.
Fugly falling back a little bit here. compLexity going to try to make the push, but just as they were starting it, the molly rolls in. Roka doesn't care. He's got to push past it. That's not going to work. So Roka snuck in a kill on the Cutler because Fugly was hanging back a little bit. That's all he's going to be able to get. Fugly pushes right back in. Finally, Sanks gives his team something to work with here as he picks up a 2nd kill now, but as he pushes back out, looking for the lineup, but all he ends up doing is walking directly into the spray of Hazed. So he's going to meet himself with a nice headshot there to end it. compLexity finally falling back a bit, 5-3 in the advantage of CLG.
But this is the big buy for compLexity. The double save, this is what this one's for. They have all the smokes they need. They have a couple Molotovs. They have the AWP on Whitmer, which is surprisingly, even with the double save, is just a glass cannon. No armor behind any of this. So going for the utility. Actually, he wouldn't even be able to get armor either way, I don't think. Yeah, no, he wouldn't have. So, yeah, a little bit surprising at a double save that he's not able to get armor behind the AWP. But smokes, flashes, stringing out. Hayes going to drop a Molotov out towards T-Con. Sees absolutely nothing. He's playing aggressively. He's now jumped through smoke to get in towards ladder room. And he has all the intel. Now we're going to start seeing the rotation from JDM back towards the inner bomb site just to help support Tarek.
And Hayes in that great position there. It catches the flashbang. He knows there's a presence over here in the back of the B bomb site, but can't really react to any of it just as of yet. JDM now pressing his way outside of Z. And watching out for a hit from the upper side of the site now. Hayes is still hanging out at the bottom, but he's ready to line up a flank in the event it would do so. And if he went up right now, he would be able to catch Def crossing with that bomb, but still playing it patiently, hanging back, as compLexity themselves are still looking to line their players up now, but they're primed to throw a smoke set onto that bomb site. Here they go. The CTs have just tossed in one of their own smokes, so they're held back a little bit, but they've got everybody here, so might as well try to go for the execution. They're even boosting up their opper, too. They're going to put Whitmer up on top to see if he can find anything. It doesn't look like it, though, as JDM's not peeking right now. He's a little bit off the mark. You might have been able to see Cutler, but now Hayes, finally, done with waiting, goes up on top of the ladder and finds the first kill on a Sanks.
Yeah, nice play from CLG, just not feeling pressure for too long, and now they start getting the quick flank going on. Cutler's still alive in the bomb site. Hayes and Cutler get a couple more. And then compLexity, there's nothing left for them into this bomb site. Hayes on this quick flank is still destroying everybody. 4 kills for him on the round. Smart flank up ladder, 6-3.
So re-breaking compLexity, of course. Still see an investment coming in this time, as they're only going to need to save for this one round. So just downgrading to Tech 9s or whatever they may have. But not going to be buying up too much armor or anything behind them. A Deagle coming out with the Roka, Sanks, and Def. Already seen what kind of impact these have had, and it's not that much. A couple trades here and there, but that's about it. And CLG, to a certain degree on some of their players, can eat them up at this point, as they have quite a bit of cash starting to build up in the reserves. 3 players from compLexity very quickly moving over towards Ivy, and they're going to push it too, but there's a good amount of pressure being held here by CLG. They've got 2 players ready to hold this off, already shutting down Whitmer and Roka. They know for a fact that Sank is here, and he's down at 32 HP. The final 2 players will try to push their way into the outer site, but that's not going so well. Cutler shuts down Def. Hayes pushes out from the middle of the trains, takes down Shinobi, and now you just have Sanks alive in a 1v5.
Yeah, he's going to fall here as well. So now compLexity's got to find some way. I mean, they were trading some rounds early on when the economy was a little bit weak, but now that all the money is built up for CLG, they have all the nades, they have all the Molotovs, this AWP on JDM as well. They've been locked out ever since. Tarek doesn't even have to really do anything. He's down to 3 kills, but the rest of his teammates are doing just fine. Only so many kills to go around. And I mean, compLexity just have to figure out if these fast strategies aren't going to work because of the Molotov usage. And actually, this is the thing. They're going to rush out one more time. Roka's on top of the train, but there's Hayes. Grabs an angle. He gets a 2nd kill as well. He's come alive on train so far. And now wrapping around the bomb site. Shinobi trying to find something. Sprays down a kill eventually from Cutler, but can't recover in time to find a 2nd. And Fugly's just here to clean things up.
Fugly, a nice pop-off onto Whitmer there to shut him down. And this time around, there's just no pressure coming over towards Ivy to split up the defense over here behind the train. So CLG, couple trades here and there, but they have no trouble at all holding out that angle there. So it's going to be 8-3. And finally, after CLG going this monster round streak, a pause is going to be called from the side of compLexity.
I feel like Hayes is just unleashing all of his frustration from Dust 2, and they just kept abusing him at the B bomb site. And he's like, all right, yeah, you guys made me look a little bit silly, but it's time to just wreck house here. And he's been going nuts. I mean, that flank, the one round at the inner bomb site was huge. That round right there, he gets a double kill holding mid, essentially solo. So he's playing very, very well at the moment. And that's going to be a little bit difficult for compLexity to handle because Hayes is like the spirit tip of this like outside defense for CLG. If he's going to get 1 or 2 kills, that's going to stall out these attacks immediately.
And CLG now also built up, as we were mentioning before. They were starting to build it up a couple rounds ago, but now it's just gotten completely out of control in terms of the amount of money these CTs have to work with now. Post-buy, Tarek sitting at 11.4k, Hayes sitting at just under. He actually was at it when the round started too, sitting at max money. JDM just under 10k. The only people that are even remotely low is, well, just Cutler at 2.2k. And of course, one of his teammates could easily drop for him in the event that would be necessary. compLexity still trying to get just the bare necessities up on the board. No op coming in just as of yet onto Whitmer. Still forcing him to work with the AK as of yet. And most of these guys still really can't afford anything beyond just the smokes and flashbangs. We only see a single Molly coming out into def. Beyond that, they don't really have anything to work with. So unfortunately, their economy is still just building up. They can't even get the necessities in terms of utility.
Yeah, and now, I mean, the other thing, too, is that Whitmer doesn't have the AWP, so they're going to be a little bit rough on a missed smoke as well, trying to come out of this mid-choke point. They're actually going to make it, but mostly because Fugly and Cutler got aggressive towards Halls. Def finds that opening kill onto Hayes, immediately traded off by Cutler, playing a little bit passive towards Ivy. Now spots out Whitmer, who chases down the kill, but Cutler's going to win that duel as well. And compLexity, they were posturing to go in or off this kind of a fake, but they went right back down the ladder. Fugly's going to be on a pretty quick flank. It's all up to Cutler to spot it, and I believe he now knows.
So one good thing, compLexity, if things don't continue to go well for them here now, that they may be able to at the very least get into this round as a plan. They haven't gotten one in the past 6 rounds now. They've just been absolutely shut down by CLG. So CLG playing a little bit more passively, hanging back, but ultimately still are going to be a man up for this retake as they move back in. Cutler a little bit more cautious because he's down at 23 HP, but as he sneaks back in, Tarek in a position just below heaven right now. Roka can definitely hear him moving around, just trying to figure him out right now. The nade comes in, connects onto Roka. Shinobi finds that first kill, and Roka holds his position. So down to just 2 left alive now from the side of CLG, and Sanks lining up a flank against Fugly. He's going to go down for free. JDM now also overwhelmed by Sanks. And compLexity do manage to piece together a round finally, after about 7 in a row from CLG.
Yeah, now they've got to string it together. They did survive with 3 members, which is really good in that round. Some good post-plant positionings, and CLG just seemed to get a little bit too spread out across the map. They didn't catch on to that switch up in positioning from compLexity in time. Whitmer has the AWP. JDM's back on his as well. But there's still, I mean, there's actually, I was going to say there's a decent amount of money on the CLG side, but that's not the case. JDM gets that opening kill. Slows things down a little bit. The main brunt of this attack is going to come towards Ivy, though, but they're stalled out by a smoke.
Fugly holding that off. Can already read where the push is coming to. Tarek having no problem holding the push from ramp, so the fake's dead. Players in Z will be able to rotate back into the A bomb site in just a moment. The Ivy push is going to start now, though. Cutler's going to have to turn back and assist with that, but Fugly goes down. So now Roka, along with the teammate that's carrying the bomb, are going to be able to sweep around this one. And Cutler trying to wrap. Oh, unfortunately, Cutler's caught in the open there by Whitmer, so he's not able to react to that. But then Hayes rolls in there, picks up 2 more kills for himself, shutting out both Whitmer and Def. And Roka at 12 HP, looking to pull off a miracle, but positionally he's outmatched. Utility-wise, he's outmatched at this point. And CLG, the second he peeks outside of that area, he's a dead man, and he just screwed with the flash as well, so that's definitely not going to help his cause. Hayes spotting him. They know he's moving out now. Trying to be sneaky with this one, going over through the short lane to pick up a kill. As that flash rolls over, not going to connect on the Hayes, and as he peeks, Hayes has the advantage. We'll be able to finish off Roka, and CLG take back control of things immediately after we see compLexity find one of their own rounds.
Seems like compLexity is almost that round was just really weird. Where they chose to take some battles, it just seemed very, very individual. With that one player just coming down ramp for almost no reason, it seemed like, just trying to find a fight to take. So a little bit disorganized, almost in my opinion. But either way, they do get reset immediately after winning a round. They still have some money built up because they had 3 players survive. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but still, CLG's money is no better. But compLexity doesn't seem to have a really good response to picking up these gun rounds in any kind of consistency.
He's finding the first there as he's positioning himself just outside of ladder room. More players going to attempt to push. JDM actually missing for the first time in quite a bit, but he catches another one. Shinobi just going to walk right in front of him. Whitmer just brute forcing his way up to the site to force a plant. He's going to succeed in doing so. Sank's finding a kill. He's picked up a rifle to work with as well. Hayes a little bit flustered here as they find him, but still another kill rolling in. Sank's trades it back onto Fugly, down to a 3v2 now. The T's do not have control of this site, however. They have to peek back out. Great shots from Tarek. Almost goes down to Sanks, but makes up for that very quickly. But Def, take a look at his angle. It's perfect. If he times this right, he can have some huge impact. And there we go. It's a double kill with a single shot. Takes out Hayes and JDM down to a 1v1. Tarek at only 9 HP as well. Def, he's picked up a rifle, but I don't think he realized that Tarek, he's on the bomb right now. Thankfully, he's going to find it and shuts it down. And that's a monster clutch from Def.
I've seen it all, Blue. I've seen it all. Sick from Def. They lined up for him in the smoke, both of them going for the defuse. In a crazy, crazy situation, but last round of the half, both teams going to buy out. compLexity has everything in the world they could want. And CLG, I mean, despite having such a sick half, they're hurting a little bit. They're a little bit low in utility. Cutler's stuck on a FAMAS as well. And just this all-out aggression down the lanes from compLexity is really kind of throwing CLG for a loop, despite a monster half from Hayes, who's got 18 kills. There's still, I mean, 5 rounds for compLexity is nothing to really frown upon.
Especially considering now that they keep their buys going. As you were mentioning, they have everything they could ever hope to have in this final gun round. So there's a very real chance that if things swing in their way again, especially upon entry, they could find a 6th round here instead of it going 10-5 in the way of CLG. But CLG back to the default hold. Only going to be placing Tarek inside of the bomb site itself. JDM on the quick rotate position in Z. 3 more committed to the A site, but held very far back with Fugly watching from around the corner from Ivy.
Cutler and Fugly at least going to group up for this defense. Pop Flash comes out. Sanks isn't blind whatsoever, though, and he's going to get both kills, but Roka thanks him for that by shooting him in the back of the skull. Molotov comes out on the bomb site. Hayes is trapped. Def finds him. compLexity has peeled apart this defense.
Tarek and JDM, the last 2 alive, but JDM going to be coming in for the alternate tunnel. Can't find anything from here just as of yet. They're all off position. And Tarek coming in from Z, and of course compLexity, they're going to be expecting that from a mile away. Only got a flashbang, but he peeks out, trying to find the kill on the Def. He dinks it and brings it down to 7 HP, but, or probably just 1 HP now. But not going to be enough to get it, and JDM somehow misses that shot. I actually think it was dead on, but for whatever reason it doesn't connect. Roka finding another one, and then Def cleans it up by finishing off JDM. It's going to be 6-9 in the favor of CLG, but a nice comeback from compLexity considering the way things had started off.
Yeah, I mean, there was a huge run there for CLG. I think it was something like 7 rounds in a row or something crazy like that in the middle of that half. So yeah, good on compLexity to recover and get up towards 6. That's without winning the pistol as well. They did trade a couple early on in low econ situations, but I mean, good on them to find a way to make this work. Just highly aggressive in the outside train yard, and eventually CLG just couldn't handle the pressure. So CLG is gonna look to have a monster T half. They need it. It's all going to start with that pistol as well. Yeah, that's what's crazy about it is like it's hard to get gun rounds into your T side of train, so that pistol round is so crucial.
So we'll start with that T side for CLG. And it'll be a very decisive one if they're not going to be able to carry over this momentum now. Things that seem to come down quite a bit after that huge clutch came out from Def. And now CLG investing pretty hugely here. A lot of utility actually coming in for what we're used to. Normally you're just going to see a pretty heavy investment in armor and whatnot, but there's 3 smokes on the board for CLG along with like 6 or 5 flashbangs and an HE coming on a Cutler as well. So lined up to get themselves out to the outer site pretty quickly. Almost all their players pushing in from T connector. You've already got, I think it's Tarek through, but Whitmer's able to catch that and takes him down. Now the rest of the team's going to roll back out, but they've been red. This is the problem now. Now they need to start picking up some kills so they can clear out the site and make sure they actually get this plant going for themselves. Sanks moving in through Z there is able to take down 2 players as he swipes one of them on his way over behind the bomb site, and then Shinobi and Roka just clean things up. compLexity are going to bounce back at the beginning of this half, it seems.
Yeah, sick round from Sanks, keeping up the heavy fragging that he was doing on Dust 2 as well. And CLG doesn't even sniff the bomb site. They just get completely shut out and wiped off the map. Really nicely done on the defense. And now this is that dire situation I just talked about. It's hard to get these T rounds on train when the CT team has fully bought out and they have all their guns and utility. And now, I mean, CLG's got to find essentially 7 of them. It's a little bit scary. They upgrade some pistols. No utility, no armor whatsoever, so a bomb plant might be the best thing they can hope for.
Everybody from CLG, they're just going to try to overwhelm the bomb site to be able to try and force up a plant for these guys here. So heading into the first gun round, they won't be completely broke. They move in. They're definitely going to get that plant, but that might be all they're able to get here now. Mollies are coming in. The CTs will just overwhelm them with utility. Cutler escapes with 1 kill on a def here, but Roka racing up to this site. Whitmer finding another kill as well as he pushes the sidewalk. And Roka, nicely done, just shuts out Fugly as he jumps up on top of the ladder. Even going to grab the defuse as well. Pretty quick cleanup from compLexity, but they do allow that plant to slip through.
Yeah, plant's pretty nice, and this could allow them to buy CLG to buy in this third round if they choose to. And yeah, Tarek just snaps off the AK-47, so CLG's ready to go in here. Fugly with the Galil so we can add a little bit of utility, but still they're going to be very, very light. 3 smokes to work with. They've got some flashbangs, and JDM has 1 Molotov with that AK-47, but they're going to have to win some of these duels, and there's some opportunities for them. The FAMA's a weaker weapon, obviously, and the MP7, the SMG, if they can find and isolate that, find a pick on a def, that's going to be towards the inner bomb site. Oh, and he gets blocked as well, but he gets away just in time. Very fortunate, because Sanks was there body block and trying to support him as best he could. But heavy pressure for CLG towards the center site. And there's an opening pick. Hayes keeping up his CT side work with a kill onto Whitmer to open things out. That's one of the FAMAS's down. Meanwhile, Def is going to push through the smoke and find so many members of CLG. He gets mowed down. They haven't committed quite yet to the center bomb site.
They're going to start to slowly push their way out to it now. Tarek finds the first blow, but Roka striking back. Able to eliminate Tarek. Now they want to focus on the plant. That rolls down, and still a 4v2. Heavily injured are going to be both Hayes and Cutler. But Fugly still in a decent position. They just lost JDM. That's not going to be very good. But Fugly, nice shot on Roka. Catches him just as he came into his view. Pain Shinobi strikes back with a pickup onto Fugly. He's alone, though, with 8 HP. The smoke going over the bomb. They're going to try to throw another one over there towards upper, but he needs to get himself on this bomb. Otherwise, they're going to find him. And there you have it. Hayes finds the final kill. And CLG bounce back now to pick up a 10th round.
And is compLexity going to respond by buying here? They're just going to play it safe. Yep, they're going to buy. I thought they might play it a little bit conservative and just save 1 and get that AWP out, but down 2 rounds, they don't want to relinquish too much over to CLG. So, once again, a couple FAMAS's on the board, light on nades. But still, they're going to get right back into this and try and trade these rounds back and forth, much like the first half went. And they just can't get picked off. They can't allow Hayes to be the solo man to just walk out into the outer train yard and find a kill. Roka's going to get aggressive behind this smoke at E-Box. He finds Tarek. That's a clean kill. He's able to get away behind it as well.
Now hanging out, moving away from it now as he had a little bit of support coming in there. And CLG with no real follow-up after losing Tarek. They're actually going to fall back away from the T connector and moving. They'll start to move, I should say. Quite a few of their players over here towards Ivy. Trying to add a couple more angles to this hit. Maybe catch compLexity and overwhelm them a little bit. But ultimately, compLexity, they've got full grasp of this, and if this continues to remain an A hit, then I don't imagine it going very well for CLG, especially now that there is a full 4-player commitment here. Unless they just wait unless they just wait a very long time, at which point we'd probably see 1 or 2 of those guys rotate over towards inner, but that doesn't appear to be the case here for CLG.
And compLexity is out of smokes to delay anything at about a minute, so waiting for any kind of execution. Roka's going to be under pressure. 2 members coming out of Ivy. That's going to be Hayes and Fugly, and they make noise now. Roka should know, but he thinks he's covered by smoke. Fugly's just going to spam, and he jumps right through, finds that kill. Nice entry from him. Hayes as well is here. A couple members of the bomb site for compLexity, and Hayes loses that battle. But there's Cutler and Fugly. They respond nicely. Def now, it's his turn. And he gets brought down to 9 HP, but he does win the battle anyways with his FAMAS. But he's got to be a little bit more passive now. 2-on-2.
Def hanging away now, but only 9 HP, so he's got to be very cautious. Good peek initially, though. Bringing JDM down very low at 21 HP, and also Sank sneaking in. He does screw it up there, but able to recover. He shuts down Fugly, waiting for the push to come outside of the Ivy tunnel. JDM finds the kill on a Def, but he's gotten away as well. Sank's trying to get aggressive, jumping up. Picks up the kill. He's got a full 10-second defuse, but I believe he should have plenty of time to be able to pull that off. There's compLexity bouncing right back. And now they're going to be only 1 round away from tying things up against CLG.
Yeah, the force buy just barely works out, but what it does do is prevent CLG from having any kind of a strong buy into this round, but they're going to go for it. Tarek immediately buys up the AK. Tech 9 start coming out. JDM will be able to have the other AK-47. But he might, yeah, he's passing that over to Cutler. So, good call from JDM. Nice of him. Take the Deagle instead. Well documented the impact of his rifles versus his op play, but either way, 10-9 for CLG, and they're not willing to give it up quite yet. This would be a huge win for either team, though. Reset the economy of the opponents.
Rocket getting aggressive, moving himself inside of ladder room early on. CT smoke to cover it up too a little bit here. I'll be waiting inside of ladder room for the drop play to come in. The members of CLG, and this part about it, he might actually get some of this too. Firing in, not going to find anything just as of yet. They do have an Ivy push lined up in the case of Fugly moving in, but compLexity not really paying as much attention to it as they have on previous rounds. There's Roka, though, catching the first initial kill, but Tarek is going to be able to respond by jumping down and finishing off Roka. It holds away the actual push to come to the outer site, though, as now you can even see that player over there that was Fugly pushing himself over towards Ivy. He's switching it up, and he's going to regroup with the rest of the team in the back of the B bomb site.
Yeah, and it's all up to compLexity to read this. Whitmer's rotating back right now. Def is still here as well, so it's nicely done, but Def has the UMP, and they're out of utility to slow anything down. Meanwhile, in CLG, they've only got 1 smoke, so it's not like they're rolling in nades to use in this attack anyways. 3 members waiting at the top of box halls, lining up some smokes, just making sure there's going to be no aggression. All the meanwhile, Whitmer gets closer and closer up. Flashbang comes out, blinds Whitmer initially. Here they come, streaming out the upper bomb site. Def somehow wins that against an AK. Gets the opening kill. Now it's all on Whitmer to hold this off. Can he do it? No, he gets gooshed as well. Down to 8 HP. Tarek finds him. The rotation is in, but it's a 3-on-2.
Shinobi trying to creep himself a little bit closer to the site, moving up, wrapping around the bomb tray now. They are lined up on the side of CLG, but still Tarek's able to find that kill on Shinobi. Sanks striking back, bringing this down to a 1v2. One of the members of CLG has safely escaped over towards upper, but that's Fugly, and keep in mind, no Molly sitting on him. He's only got the Tech 9, no rifle to work with either. But I think JDM has just spotted Sanks trying to creep around. He's looking to quickly move his way over here up the sidewalk, but JDM's been able to counter maneuver his way around that, gets himself into a better position, shuts out Sanks, and gives another round to the side of CLG to keep their lead going.
11-9, and the big story too is compLexity. I'm sure more than anything they'd want to have an AWP on Whitmer at some point, but with the fact that they're saving here, I mean, let's just assume CLG is going to get up towards 12. There's going to start being too many rounds behind for a double save. That would just give up too much to compLexity, so it might be a long time before we're able to see an AWP on Whitmer, and that's a little bit scary for him. JDM with the Mac 10 on the other hand, he wants to go farming. He wants to get that bonus money so he can get Nop on the T side. And they're just going to slowly, casually walk into the center bomb site. Shinobi with a nice double tap on a Tarek, and the bomb's getting planted inside. 1 AK-47 is salvaged by Whitmer. There's no reason for him to go and try and win this retake. Just save the weapon for the next round. This is going to be a 12th for CLG.
Broken moving in, trying to see if he can get some frags out here. He's only got the Deagle investment coming in. It's the same exact thing for Shinobi. Roka snuck his way up on top of upper. Unfortunately, he did not spot JDM hiding out inside of that smoke there by Tanker, so unable to respond to it quickly enough, and the rest of the team is basically going to give up now because of this. Sanks waiting just outside of the locker rooms in the kitchen to see if anybody's going to push in his direction, essentially acting as the guardian for Whitmer in the event they try to push him, but there we go, Sanks finding 1 kill. He will be traded out by Hayes, but some impact with them at the very least. And for Shinobi, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to pick up too much there as he just retreats to heaven.
Yeah, and with how scrappy this match has been, with all these different force buys back and forth, I mean, any damage you can do is huge. And actually, compLexity surprises me. Playing pretty conservatively. Def picks up the 5-7, so they're going to save into this one and just trust in Roka. Give the AK over to their all-star, see if he can make a play for him that can help them turn the tides in this round. But they're going to give CLG a huge advantage in getting up towards 13. Roka's going to push Ivy with this. It's being watched from very, very far back. Fugly's blind, and look at this. Roka's not even slowing down, just full rush. Fugly might not expect him to be this close. This could actually work out really well for complexity. But JDM's on the way back as well. There's the peak. Fugly wins it. He gets the second as well.
And down goes the only real gun that complexity we're going to be able to carry into this round. Def trying to leap his way outside of the back of the B bomb site because now he needs to watch out, keep himself alive. If anybody on complexity wants to have a chance of picking up this round, but it's quick now to the outside yard. At least in the case of Tarek, he's got himself into a pretty long duel versus Shinobi. He's going to win it, but Sanks, in the meantime, is going to be able to pick up another kill onto Fugly. Now the rest of the team dropping down inside of the ladder. They're going for the outer hit. Def trying to respond, but punch is going to be a little bit too strong against him. Hayes shuts out Def. Sanks to that final peak as he retrieved the AK. Is not going to be able to get away with this round, so Tarek eliminates him. And CLG now just 3 rounds away from closing out the map.
It all rests on this round. The double save. If complexity can't win this one, they're just going to be crippled. They have to start the comeback here. They have the op on Whitmer. They have 4 Molotovs. They have 5 smokes. They have a couple kits as well. Everything they could want. And this is going to be crucial. Whitmer outside with that AWP. JDM, meanwhile, is going inside. Actually, no, he's down in ladder room. Excuse me. And he's going to find the opening kill. Nice flick over under Roka. That's at E-Box. 5 on 4. Good advantage for CLG.
JDM with that first pickup now. The rest of complexity going to try to play a little bit more aggressively over towards the A bomb site. Specifically, Sanks pushing up around E-Box, around that smoke, trying to see if anybody's pushed outside, but there's no one here. There's no one on the site. They have to hold back a little bit of caution. Steph is the only player right now over towards B to hold this one, and his attention is almost entirely on the ramp play. If CLG had snuck out towards upper, he would have had no clue as of yet, so he's trying to watch out for this as well, but slowly he's going to get some support, possibly from Sanks. Sanks still trying to make up his mind. It seems he's going back and forth, but smoke rolls out there for the CTs, and Fugly in the meantime is going to find an entry over here towards Ivy, but this is all a fake, and it's working out just to clear the path essentially because Sanks rotating all the way in from CT, and Def going back inside of Z. The site's essentially open for the taking now. CLG might have full control of this already.
And Def, I think, spotted that. Oh, he swings out into all 4 of CLG at that lower ramp. And this is heartbreaking for complexity. This is the round they needed. 2 kills from Shinobi and Sanks. A little bit likely. I mean, the HP is very low at CLG, so they could have gone for that. But, I mean, the response onto Sanks is just too much. Shinobi so far away. Going to go for some exit kills, but this is just crushing defeat. This was the round that complexity just basically put all their eggs in one basket of this round. It's not going to work out for him.
Shinobi putting himself inside of the kitchen area, watching out to see if anybody's going to be exiting. I think he did hear a player moving out their T connector, so he should be expecting a push from the stairway, but lines himself up with a kill on a JDM at the very least. And now should be able to push himself a little bit closer to the bomb site where he probably will be safe to survive this round and carry over that M4 into the next one. But what else will the team be bringing to the table? And it's not going to be a whole lot. I imagine we would see a force up here because they're that far behind at this point. Would not want to risk it and going 6 rounds straight in a row. Going to see rifle investments coming in. Whitmer is essentially going to have no utility. Same thing for Def as he only buys up a single smoke. And Sanks going to be in a similar situation.
Fast play towards inner for CLG. They want to take control of box halls. That smoke is going to slow down Cutler initially, and Roka and Def are both pushing it. Roka on top of the smoke, going to pure route. He's going to get aggressive as well. He does find Cutler, trying to fall back. JDM misses the shot and gets dinked as a thank you. So tough round now for CLG, especially now that Tarek has fallen to Whitmer. Aggression from complexity yields results here.
There's Hayes bouncing back a little bit. Same thing for Fugly. Tied now at a 3v3, but some good damage being done to JDM and Hayes. The CTs still hold control of the situation, as they're now going to try to get themselves over here to the outside train yard. Sanks has spotted it, picks up a first kill onto Fugly. And now all their progress is stunted, as JDM needs to find a response kill before he can safely push himself out into this bomb site. And actually fall back and take the bomb with him too, because that one's still placed just outside of this T connector.
JDM looking for one more pick. I mean, this is a 2-on-3 situation, but the defense is split. If Sanks falls here,
yeah,
that would be really rough, but it's not going to happen. Shinobi finds JDM. Sanks grabs Hayes. So complexity 10-14, but they've got to string them together. They can't get reset now. Low econ situation, and there's, I mean, CLG, on the other hand, has blown through a lot of money as well, so it's not like they're the most stable of teams at the moment in terms of their money. But JDM is back on the op. Whitmer has one as well.
And we'll see where exactly CLG are going to take their aggression this time. Looking like most of their guys are just heading over here to the back of the B side once again. But they've also got a couple of guys lined up to try and throw some smokes and whatnot over there towards the outer yard to make it look like there's going to be a take over there. I think, however, that this is definitely going to be a play that they'll push over here towards the B-bomb site this time. Could be just a direct play over through ladder room too, but that's going to be a bit risky sending 3 players down there.
Not as much aggression this time out of complexity, and JDM looks like he wants a challenge down lower ramp. Def just now moves away. He's the only member at the center bomb site. JDM, oh, he gets the shot. That's huge. Gotta force a rotation. Sanks is going to come back. CLG isn't in any kind of position to kind of really exploit this by hitting the inner bomb site. They only had 2 members there, but it's a good opening pick. It prompts Shinobi to go on an information gathering towards Ivy, and there's one waiting here. That's Fugly, and he's going to grab that kill, so this defense is getting whittled down now. No one at the inner bomb site. CLG has complete run of the map.
CLG, though, not following up on it, still just sitting safely outside of the site, so it gives time for Sanks to rotate in, but essentially, it's lamb to the slaughter over here at the B-bomb site. Finally, there's a pickup that comes in for Whitmer as he pushes outside of Ivy. He's looking for another response, but little does he know that Tarek's just going to walk into Ivy, and he finds a free kill on Whitmer because he leaves himself out of cover way out in the open there. So Tarek finding another pickup as they move in. Roka will be able to respond to that by shutting down Tarek because he's still sitting up on top of the train, but the remaining 2 CTs are split heavily. They don't know where they are, though, and this is what's important, because if Sanks keeps himself hidden, might have been able to sneak through with a couple of kills, but a little bit too far out there. Cutler's going to spot him as he moves past the bomb train, and all that's left alive is Roka.
He spotted Sanks spotted like the elbow of JDM, and that distracted him just long enough for Cutler to come in and grab that kill. So a really nice round for CLG, where they found picks everywhere across the map. Huge opening. Now Roka does save the AWP, which is huge for his team. That's going to be entirely necessary because they have no money. I mean, they're going to get reset. Sanks and Shinobi are going to be in 1,400 next round. Whitmer and Def going to be right under 2K. So Roka will be able to drop this op over. He'll be able to buy a rifle himself, but it's going to be such a scrappy buy, and complexity have their backs against the wall now.
And Roka, I don't know if they're going to be able to chase him properly, but it looks like most of them are just going to be hanging out up here. No one wanting to go inside of the actual T-spawn and chase him down, so he will be able to survive with that op. Taking it into the next round, that is the only big weapon that this team is going to have now. CLG have the absolute advantage beyond that, and for complexity to hold out at this point would in all honesty be an absolute miracle.
Yeah, it really would be. It's going to require Whitmer to go nuts with this AWP. He's going to take it towards the inner bomb site, and it looks like he wants to get aggressive towards upper ramp. So at least this is a location where, you know, CLG's been taking control of this with 2 members, but they just want to get into the outer train yard. They want to bully the fact that they have all the rifles. They know it's a low econ situation. Hayes already pushing up, and he's going to mow down 2. Tarek with a 3rd so quickly, and the op is now rendered ineffective. On rotates so difficult, and especially now it's a 1-on-5, so CLG, they survive the scare on Dust 2, and they come out with a clean win here on Train.
Whitmer, nothing left for him to do. He's just going to be rolling back down, looking to see if he can hold his own, missing that first shot versus JDM. So does JDM, ironically enough, but then Fugly just rolls it. It's my turn to clean this one up. And there you have it, guys. CLG is going to go 2-0 in their matchups for this evening. Unfortunately for complexity, they failed to pick up a single match. As far as the rankings are concerned, this moves CLG up quite a few places. They will now sit in 8th place above Team Liquid, but still under other teams such as Splice, Energy, Selfless, C9, Luminosity, Renegades, and Optic, in that order, starting from the lowest going to the highest.
Yeah, that's, I mean, still not looking great in terms of standings, but like we've talked about a couple times, plenty of matches for them to catch up on. But either way, little delayed in matches. It's a little bit late, so we're going to get out of here. Thanks for tuning in, sticking with it throughout the whole evening. We'll be back tomorrow. I don't know if you will be.
I think it's Mega Man again.
Cool. So yeah, that'll be tomorrow. And that's going to be, I mean, there's some cool matches. Liquid Renegades are playing, and then Cloud9 Luminosity. So yeah, tomorrow is not a night you want to miss in terms of North American Pro League. That'll be fun stuff.
All right, guys. Well, that once again is going to be it. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow at the same time for more of the ESL Pro League in North America.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Logitech G, Pay Safeguard, TheScoreEsports.com, G2A, NVIDIA, and ESEA.